I stood in that courtroom, hands trembling against the wooden table, watching my own mother sit in the witness box like she belonged there. Patricia Turner, the woman who gave birth to me, was about to destroy my life with a single sentence. Her lips moved and the words cut deeper than any knife ever could. She can barely hold a job. My daughter is irresponsible, unstable and unfit. The fluorescent lights hummed overhead, casting harsh shadows across her face. She didn't even look at me when she said it. This was the custody hearing for my 3-year-old daughter, Lily, the only pure thing left in my world. My own mother was testifying against me, telling the court I wasn't capable of raising my child. She wanted custody. She wanted to take Lily away because she believed I had failed at everything else. The evidence stacked against me felt like a mountain I couldn't climb. My lawyer looked defeated before we even started. I felt my dreams crumbling. Felt the weight of everyone's judgment pressing down on my shoulders. Then a voice cut through the chaos from somewhere behind the judge's bench. Voice that would change everything. Let me take you back 2 years, back when I actually believed life could be fair. I was Alison Turner, 29 years old, working as an associate attorney at Morgan & Pierce, a small but respectable law firm in Portland, Oregon. Nothing fancy but honest work. I helped families navigate divorces, custody battles, estate planning, the kind of law that actually mattered to real people. My office overlooked the Wamped River, and on clear mornings I could see Mount Hood in the distance while I drafted motions and reviewed contracts. Then I met Derek Castellano, with his perfect smile and his supposedly successful import-export business. We dated for 8 months before he proposed at a restaurant I couldn't afford. His family had money, the kind that came with expectations and judgments, but I thought love could bridge those gaps. How naive I was. We married in a small ceremony. 6 months later I got pregnant with Lily. Derek seemed thrilled at first, posting ultrasound pictures on social media, talking about being a father. I worked right up until my water broke, determined to prove I could handle both career and motherhood. Women do it every day, right? I could too. Lily came into the world screaming, a tiny force of nature with my eyes and Derek's stubborn chin. Those first weeks blurred together in a haze of sleepless nights and overwhelming love, but something felt wrong. Derek started coming home later. His phone was always face down on the table. He stopped asking about Lily's day. 3 months after giving birth, I found the text messages, pages and pages of conversations with his executive assistant, a woman named Jade. The messages were explicit, detailed, ongoing. They had been seeing each other since my 2nd trimester. While I was growing our child, he was sleeping with someone else in hotel rooms downtown. I filed for divorce immediately, but Derek's family had resources I couldn't match. They hired Franklin Howard, the most expensive family law attorney in Oregon, a man who wore $5,000 suits and treated courtrooms like his personal stage. Meanwhile, I represented myself because I couldn't afford anyone better while on maternity leave. The divorce proceedings were brutal, but what destroyed me was the postpartum depression that came crashing down like a tidal wave. Some days I couldn't get out of bed. The weight of betrayal, of being a single mother, of fighting a legal battle alone, it crushed something inside me. I started missing deadlines at work, small things. At first, a filing here, a client meeting there. My boss, Mr. Morgan, called me into his office on a Thursday afternoon. Alison, we need to talk about your performance. I tried to explain, tried to tell him about the divorce, about the depression, about how I was getting help, but law firms don't have patience for human weakness. They need billable hours and perfect work product. 3 weeks later they let me go. Professional termination, they called it. My career, everything I had worked for since law school, gone. Derek pounced on that information like a predator. His lawyer filed an emergency motion, claiming I was mentally unstable and financially irresponsible. The judge, an older man who seemed to look right through me, granted Derek temporary primary custody. I could only see my daughter on weekends, supervised visits at first, until they decided I wasn't a danger to my own child. I tried to find another legal position, Sent out 43 resumes in 2 months, but word travels fast in legal circles. Nobody wanted to hire the lawyer who got fired. For poor performance, nobody cared about the reasons why, so I took a job at Riverside Cafe, serving coffee and sandwiches to people who used to be my peers, $12 an hour plus tips, just enough to cover rent on a tiny studio apartment in the cheaper part of town. For 6 months I survived barely. I saw Lily every Saturday and Sunday, treasured every moment and spent weeknights crying into my pillow. Then Derek's car was hit by a drunk driver on Interstate 5. He died instantly. The police told me on a Monday morning. I felt numb.